So starting a Facebook group is the easiest way to attract clients, because think about what you need to attract clients to a business. You need a community of people that have the same problem, and so that you can share with them the solution that you have. And right now we can't see people in person, and COVID happened last year. That showed us the power of online communities. And so when we have an online community, then we're not dependent on whether we can meet or not, or location. And so why wouldn't you start an online community? You can grow it, you can scale it, you can have as many members as you want. And when you can sell to them, share with them the solution that you have, it's the easiest way to get started. Yeah, absolutely. We use the community to be able to understand what the clients need, or what people need, what the audience is craving. And then we create different trainings to be able to satisfy that desire. And of course, we tie our offers as a possible next step for them to be able to create the deeper level of transformation that they want. So communities are just the best way to keep a pulse on what your audience needs and who your best clients are. When I started my Facebook group, the way that I thought about it was, how can I offer value to the people that are going to join every single day? And what I did is a weekly Facebook live stream, a training where I actually gave a lot of value, pretty much everything away. And at every single time at the end of that live stream, I would let them know that there's something that I can help them with. It's a very simple and organic way. You offer value, and then you ask, is this something that you want support around? So if you just do that, consistently develop value. And I write content also. Every single day I post something to that group. And I teach people anything about marketing, anything that is relevant to them. And so I do challenges as well. So I do the weekly video, then I do a daily post, and every 3 months I do a 5-day challenge where I launch my mastermind. And it's a very value-packed experience. So I don't hold back with what I give. And people experience that as, well, if this is what she's giving for free, what's going to happen inside of the mastermind? And I do that 3 times a year. And that brings more people, because I promote in different Facebook groups. People come to my group, and then they stay in the group because they see value every single day. And they just continue to post their own questions. They network amongst each other. So it's just like a thriving community that's just growing on its own. So coaches that join my program come without understanding who their best client is. Sometimes they come burned out because they have lots of clients that don't pay them well, or that are demanding, so they don't have really great clients and they want to up level to premium clients. And so what I teach them is, how do you define who your best client is, and how do you attract that caliber of person? What are the words that you need to say in order to attract somebody who's willing to pay you more than $10,000 for your services? So they walk away with the skill set of understanding how to communicate really well, and then also how to offer them a solution that is at a higher ticket price point. So is the marketing, the words that they write on social media to be able to attract those clients, and then the sales piece in order to convert the client to the program. I thought that I would be happy having a job. I thought that I would find a good paying job in Australia and be happily ever after. And then once you enter the workforce as an employee, you realize that you can't just be yourself. You have to follow the rules that people determine for you. And I just never been a good rule follower. I was an A+ student, but I didn't follow any of the rules that my teachers taught me. And so I was just not happy having a job. So when I started my first company, I knew the risk that I was entering, but I just didn't think that there was any other way, because I didn't want to follow the rules that people would just, tell me to follow. And when I quit that job, and I haven't had a job ever since, it gave me so much freedom. It's so much empowerment, because you can literally decide what you want to do every single day. The moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep, you can go to the gym at whatever time you want, and you can go to sleep at whatever time you want. but also it's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And so the risk is big, the responsibility is big, but the reward is so big. Like having built a $2.5 million business at the age of 33 as a Latina immigrant is not common, but is what's possible when you have the opportunity of digital marketing, when you have the opportunity of entering entrepreneurship, and when you understand how to solve a problem in the marketplace, which anyone can do. Every single person on the planet has lived a story and they've gone through challenges, and all those challenges are valuable lessons. And what do you need to make money to create value in the marketplace? So all of us can package our own lessons, our wisdom into a program that can help people. And so for me, the freedom to be able to do that at scale and help people with my experience, it's the most liberating thing, not from a financial perspective, but from a purpose perspective. I have changed the lives and continue to change the lives of so many people. And so the money is just one of the rewards that come with the impact that you can have just by taking a chance. One of the biggest challenge that I experienced when I was starting out was, first of all, believing it was possible. And with that comes a lot of self-doubt, especially because you see people who are successful, and then you see the gap between you, where you're at, and them. And you compare yourself to their top tier of success when you are at your lowest point. And so the challenge for me was believing that it was possible in a reasonable amount of time. And for me, if I could speak to who I was when I first started my business, I would just tell her, it's all gonna work out, just don't stop. Because there are so many times when we stall, when we procrastinate, when we don't wanna follow through. Even though we know we want it, the self-doubt comes, the overwhelm comes. And I wish that I had just done it faster, if I had just continued every single day knowing it's a done deal, it's gonna happen. The only way that you can fail is if you stop, if you procrastinate. So why don't you just continue? And one of the more tactical ways that I would have done differently in terms of challenges, I would have started my Facebook group way earlier, just when they came out, as soon as people were starting their micro communities. I would have started way earlier, because by now my group could have been a 100,000 member group versus 4,000 people. I only started my group in 2019, and I thought I was late to the party. I thought that people had already done it and Facebook groups are a thing of the past, and they are not. Even if you start your Facebook group today or an online community today, you have so much, it's growing. The online world is growing every single day. So I wish that I would have started building my community a lot earlier, and I wouldn't have thought, oh, it's too late, I'm late to the party. There were so many times when I felt like I wanted to give up, because it gets hard. And what I would say to somebody who feels that way right now is to look for inspiration, whether it's in a woman, in a man, to show you what is possible. Because in those moments when I felt like I wanted to give up, I didn't think it was possible, I just kept looking for other women who were so successful. And in those moments, I just asked myself, why wouldn't I? Why not me? If they could do it, I can do it too. They were also sharing their stories when they weren't successful and how they became successful. And I just kept holding on to that belief. Well, if they could do it, why couldn't I? And that's what kept me going. And especially as a woman, the business world is very male dominated wherever you look. And as a Latina immigrant living in Australia, living in the US, you just look around and mostly there are men. And so I look for the women that were powerhouses, and I let their success inspire me instead of intimidate me or instead of triggering me. I look to them as my sort of inspiration and drive, so that one day I could be sitting in a chair like this, speaking to a woman who might be watching this video and seeing this moment as their moment where they could just keep going and keep believing. I feel blessed that I can be in a position where I can inspire other women.